Welcome back to my Empire's recap, week 16. Things have been happening. What are they? Let's find out. Looking around the new temples, returning home is home, and getting 3 Donkey Jimmy toys. Mythical Sausage wants to build a town hall, so we're chopping down the trees where he wants it and gathering the resources for it. He builds it opposite to the cathedral, interior included. Inside the town hall, he has records of several people's Empire owners as record of those who live there. So if there are any issues, as there is no king or mayor, people come to him, protector or sanctuary. Looking outside, he sees someone has docked a ship onto the docks, immediately asking what they would want. Glad that they escaped the place. Where he spots another ship, this one more damaged, with the one who was on it injured with an eye patch in the water, helping them up. Slipping into the water himself, he is to rise somewhere else by a boat. Feels all fine now, but I guess not. Looking around the ship, there resides a chicken called Sir Carlos, who seems familiar, asking questions to it. Sausage finds out he's 1,000 years in the past where the end is near. Seeing that dimensions bubbles, he's transported back to the present, finding out one of those whose dock is called Carlos. This episode, dang that's a long name, will be focusing on his llama best friends by building them for a garden for them to reside. First, he'll make the centre circle with his alien leaves, yet before being able to make the outer ring, it's disturbed by a call from the sheriff who needs help with a raid. So after many rounds of raids, Tumble Town is now indebted to him. This can be used to his advantage. Continuing the garden, he perceives the outer ring made out of oak, birch, leaves and other woods. Inside these walls, it will be decorated with flowers, a pond, a fountain in the centre as alien trees and Dan, leading the llamas to their new homes, causing a llama trail. He goes to check on Owen to see how the tavern is going, which, review-wise, isn't so good. Scott needs to train him. Logging in, Whip is surrounded by a plethora of chickens and his gold being rearranged. Fortunately, they can't kill him or Snort. Looking into where the chickens are, he notices his signs firing him, which isn't taken too positively. Going to Tumble Town to see the laws which the sheriff is breaking himself, like unsafe working conditions, trapping one of Sausage's villagers, little water and a railway being closed, which to notify the sheriff of these, places a long line of signs, and if not fixed, he will hold a vote for the people to choose the sheriff. Goblin being covered in chickens, he needs a way to rid them. Getting help from Animalia by getting some 4-legged foxes, which doesn't really work, so resorts to the sword method. Even if being sneaky, hiding where the chickens are coming from, they aren't sneaky enough for a goblin. Having that being dealt with, for now anyway, he uses his bridge claim to his advantage, building a goblin statue called Toby, providing 3 pork from the 2 barrels in front of it. Being inspired by his honeymoon in Italy, gives him the idea of Goblin actually looking and being a city, not just random scatters of buildings everywhere. This would be a season-wide project. Elder Shadow Lady finds that her frog children have hatched. What joy! So now that they will be residents of Animalia, but they will need to be fed and housed. So decides to build him a slime farm from a tutorial. Doesn't matter if he has stolen an iron golem, nobody will have to know. To disguise the farm with a facade, above the farm is a house for the frogs to live, disguised as a fisherman selling slime and given arms and legs. So she can get an achievement. She gathers all frog varieties, taking them on a trip. Then, while on a bridge, she notices a crystal cave entrance. So by investigating, she sends out Animalia's best explorer Gary to check it out and to come out with many emeralds being sent into the fog. On stream, Solidarity was able to find his spore string in a bandit's hideout. Pix can't be forgiven. It stays between them. As all Wild Wests have one, he would build a basic saloon. Interior and detail will be added later, as it needs to do with Joey and his gunpowder farm. Being told that maybe he should leave the business to simpler things, which he just won't take. So after much debate, they are able to come to a compromise. Each stack would be 2 diamonds and they'd get 1 diamond each, where gunpowder can be used from both farms. So he has to unlike Joey's farm for it to be efficient again. An overall win-win. Returning to Tumble Town, he spots a long line of signs Whip has placed. Taking a read at them, just pins down to it being bitter of being fired. However, it's yet to return the badge, so goes to Goblin again for him to do so, and how he can't hold an election for the sheriff. Knew he couldn't be trusted. Pixriffs starts at Ollie's old base, first mega base of the server, with the aim of preservation, tearing the thing down in the silk boxes, put as in a final exhibit in a museum, fitting perfectly with pinpoint accuracy to even what was in his chest. Meanwhile, during this process, there's still a gap on the bridge waiting for something to be placed there, which would be a ramp, the same as the one opposite it. Yet, unlike the other, terrain has shifted over time, meaning its entrance now being blocked off by a mountain. False symmetry feels like something bad has happened. It was such a strange dream, and her house is covered in cloth. Maybe it's telling her something to pay more attention. Plus, it has been raining and storming more recently, which can't be a good omen. Neither is damaged tools of Copperfield or the pumpkin statue being on the blimp. Some stability is made via making the tower taller to be made into a clock tower, as nobody can miss that. Even better that it's better than she could ever imagine. However, not having sufficient funds, half of its roof would be made out of dirt to substitute it. Some of those funds would have gone to the roofing of the pathway to the blimp, which has been widened. A progressive staircase is made so people can access the top of the tower from below. She needs to do something about a certain pumpkin, so at the tower's base, decides to build a small hanging cage for it to reside, with a little light of course if it's scared of the dark. Storage being full of leaves again, Joe Graceffa wants to talk to the sheriff about his gunpowder farm, which Jimmy's able to get to him before Joey could even arrive. Being able to be united under a common enemy, Joe. This can be used to make a TNT alliance for them to blow up shuttles. The sheriff is unwilling, but he will be corrupted eventually. Claiming a spot on a bridge, being one of the last to do so, Joey wants to build something beautiful, something colourful, something large on his tower. A pirate's loyal friend, a parrot. To stock it, steals from other towers, but seeing others not selling stuff makes him feel better about not having any of his own. But these stolen loot can make him seem like he does. Whip expands his butcher village hall while also making a villager breeder and a school so those who will stay there know how to be good Goblin residents. Having Ollie not paying any of the 36 diamonds in the 3 weeks he was given to pay, it means the amount of diamonds has to be increased to 81. Hopefully this should give him the message. Sing the barrel to return the deputy badge. He still doesn't, instead putting pufferfish in a bucket in their stead. Gold enough, right? Goblin not being corrupt and wanting to give back towards server. Smelt some copper for a forge. Lava being led to it and a house being next to it. Emergency horn. Gary, the greatest explorer of Animalia, has gone missing, which will need a rescue mission. Fortunately, Sniff, the greatest explorer of Goblin, has arrived and is ready to help. Being taken to the crystal cave entrance and sent into the fog. He will come back. Right? Smallish Beans, seeing that the toys are missing, assumes they have been stolen by Jimmy, and he has a plan for him which he wouldn't like. Before this can be done, he wants to map his kingdom first. So, on a higher level connected to the bridge, a glass dome structure is built like Earth, surrounded by a garden, yet no map as he hasn't got any cartographers yet. So, to get these cartographers, builds them an observatory where they'll just move in, selling maps for only an emerald. Doing 5 maps proves to Joel that this will be more of a struggle than anticipated. Yet this is all done in 30 minutes. This all being done, is now time to get back at the little toy man. As if he wants to go far, so will he back. Gathering shulkers and shulkers of sand and gravel, plus some light blue dye and some quartz, is ready to make Andy's wallpaper from Toy Story around Tumble Town, which takes 2 hours. Seeing the finished thing, decides that'd be a better idea to have the wallpaper encompassing Tumble Town instead, building remaining 2 walls. So long, yet so worth it. Thanks for watching my Empire Season 2 recap. Make sure to like and subscribe with the bell, maybe even leave in a comment as well, as it's much appreciated. Goodbye.